Well, hello everyone. This is Mark Conroy from Silversea, and we're trying something very new. It's called virtual visits. In this time of separation, it's important that we stay in touch. And we need to stay physically apart, but there's no reason that we shouldn't be talking on a regular basis. I know you're all pretty tired of probably having to jump on a phone call every hour for some kind of webinar, seminar, or focus group. And so we just thought we would create this program whereby we'll share a little bit of data with you. We'll say hello to you. We'll address hopefully some key issues that we think are important to you and hopefully important to us. And you can listen to it on your own time. So with that, I'd like to introduce, nobody that doesn't really need an introduction, is Joe Leone, our VP of Sales. Hey, Joe, how's it going?
Very well, Mark. Thank you. And hello, everyone. Thanks for watching our video. To Mark's point, we want to make sure we stay in contact with all of our partners. And I myself have to constantly find the temptation to just get up and go into Mark's office asking for a question or just our daily interaction. So all of us are going through a transition, but I want you to know that this physical distancing doesn't mean that we ourselves are distant. We're available, our teams are available, and all of your great Silversea support is still here and available through all the normal channels that you would communicate with us through. So please, I encourage you, if you need anything.
Can you imagine, Joe, just a month ago, if somebody told you in order to go to a grocery store, you'd have to wear a mask? Would you believe that had happened? So
no.
The volume of the way things have changed in such a short period of time is amazing.
We've decided to bring you all these short videos every week. We're trying to keep them to 15 minutes or less so that we can bring you up to speed and up to date on some of our latest policies and changes. And we're fortunate that we've got Mark Conroy at the helm at Silversea. So Mark's joined us here today, and he's going to go over with us some of the updates that we've made to our policies, in particular, how we've lined ourselves up with our parent company, Royal Caribbean, on our Cruise with Confidence program, and what that means for you and your customers. Mark?
Joe, I want to talk a little bit about Cruise with Confidence because I think it's another tool for our advisors to use to keep their customers from canceling their currently booked cruises. And the features are that, first of all, they can cancel up to fairly close to sailing, and instead of and get a future cruise credit. And of course, the agent gets his commission if the future cruise credit is issued, and then the agent gets their commission again when they use that future cruise credit without having it reduce the commission on the second booking. So basically, they're double dipping on that client's transaction. The other good news is that for those cruises that we cancel, the FCC becomes 125%. And that's important because obviously it's a great value for anybody who's booked, but for Venetian societies, particularly those that are avid society members who are collecting their days, not only will they get days from the cruises that we cancel, but they'll also get their days for the next cruise they book. So let's say they had a 10-day cruise that got canceled and they decided to use the extra 25% to book another 12-day cruise. They're going to get 22 days of Venetian Society dates, which might put them up over the next level. And again, I got to say it one more time because for the advisors who are looking for cash, not only do they get their commission on the first booking when the FCC is issued, but they also get a commission when that FCC is used, which is even better. So they can, if they can get that customer to book quickly, they can double down on this.
For both. Now, on the topic of new sales, we recently introduced a new promotion this week, and we'll talk about it briefly here with our partners. So I'll speak on it just briefly, and then maybe you can add a little bit to it, Mark. But we've introduced a reduced deposit promotion for our voyages, and we also have an early booking bonus that has been extended through June 30th. So for those of you who are not aware, any passenger who participates in the early booking bonus and pays in full by June 30th receives the benefit of an additional 10% savings. Well, what we've done to encourage new bookings and put some of those concerns to rest of the customers putting up big deposits, we've introduced a $1,000 reduced deposit. Customers wishing to participate in the early booking bonus can do so by paying in full by June 30th. That $1,000 initial deposit will be converted to a shipboard credit, and that entire value will be issued on board for the customers to use throughout their voyage. For those guests who do not wish to participate in the early booking bonus of June 30th, can keep their booking on remaining with $1,000 reduced deposit that was agreed upon, and the final payment won't be due until 120 days prior to sailing.
This is a great program because it doesn't tie up the guests' cash. And by the way, they can also use their future cruise credit along with this program. So this is a program that doesn't tie up the guests' cash. All they have to do is put up $1,000 to hold the booking till June 30th. And June 30th is what, more than 60 days away. It's almost a lifetime and what's happening this year. So they have that opportunity to wait and see what happens. And assuming that we're cruising, starting probably in sometime in June or early July, they'll have an opportunity to see what's actually going on.
So another one of our questions that we have here is, when can clients expect refunds? And I think that that's a question that you and I have gotten pretty well at answering.
So there's a huge avalanche of cancellations combined with the fact that we've been working at home now. It seems like forever, but I think it's been for almost 3 or 4 weeks now. And those of us, and then we had to furlough some of our guests. By the way, our employees, we haven't fired them or laid them off. We furloughed them, so they're getting their benefits. Because, we're a company that still has 5 ships on order. And so it doesn't make any sense to let people go and then 3 months from now have to hire them all back. So, we've got these people in a warm layup, so they're able to take advantage of some of the benefits that the government's providing them. And at the same time, they'll be ready to come back to work whenever we are able to turn that switch on and when we get ready to run cruises again. But in the meantime, we've got, roughly 40% fewer shoreside staff working. So it's taking longer to process both the FCCs and the refunds. So where it used to take 3 days, it's taking 30 days at least or more to get them processed. So for those guests that are asking for refunds, we just ask them to be a little bit more patient, and they will get paid. It's just taking a little bit longer time. By the way, we have also addressed the FCC issue now that when your client cancels off these next cruises, they won't have to do anything to get their FCC for 125%. It will automatically be issued unless they ask for a refund. So that's the good news. So that'll help take some of that process out of the system. So we're learning as we go along. It's you hate to see you're good at canceling cruises, but I guess we're all getting better at it than we'd like to be. Hey, Joe, the other program that, it's great to be part of Royal Caribbean, and one of the things is the RCL Cares program. Maybe you can tell our guests a little bit about it.
Yeah, RCL Cares is really great initiative that was brought on by Mr. Fain. The idea was to create a help desk where our travel partners, agent owners, and independent contractors and advisors alike can call and get advice on what the stimulus package, what this CARES Act really does mean and can get and benefit for them. So we encourage all of our advisors come to the RCL Cares site on Cruising Power. You'll find all 4 of the brands represented on that site. You'll have the opportunity there to select which one of your sales representatives you would like to contact you in regards to your questions about the CARES Act, and pass your inquiry along to the professional staff that we have on hand that will then call you back and answer all questions and give you actual direction and advice on where you can apply for some of these stimulus packages.
The CARES Act is really interesting. It's one time that the government's actually done something good for the travel industry. And it's almost looks like, and I think it has a lot to do with the fact that ASTA and CLIA and the other agency organizations were involved, where it's really designed for that independently owned business, which will help them through this crisis. And I think the other great story is the opportunity for independent contractors to possibly apply for and secure unemployment benefits, which they've never been able to do in the past. And that is part of the bill. It's quite complicated, but again, there's experts on the line at RCL Cares that can answer those questions.
That's right. Well, Mark, I think this was a great first virtual visit. I want to thank you for your time, your expertise, and your leadership. I know that the rest of the trade, I'm sure, appreciates it as well.
Well, listen, it's great to be in touch, and I do really miss it. I never thought that after all the traveling I do, the thing I miss the most is actually getting on an airplane right now and being out in the field, meeting people and doing what we do best, which is helping people sell luxury cruises.
That's right.
Take care, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.